Kia ora and welcome to another week of the Beer of the Week Drink Along. Beer Jerk, Beer of the Week Drink Along.
Something like that, yeah. We drink beers every week. This week, we are drinking...
Hoofman by Small Gods. I'm Joe.
I'm Luke.
And that was a great order to do that in. We should mix it up every week.
Yeah, we a couple of just broadcasting professionals here, just absolutely nailing it. So Small Gods is a pretty unique brewery. And in fact, Small Gods is me and my good friend Matt, that you likely know if you're a regular to our drink along videos. So yeah, quite a unique brewery in that we just do what we want to do, I suppose. We release all kinds of interesting and unique beers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Which are just purely determined by what we feel like at any one time. We don't have any strategy, any structure. Definitely don't have an accountant. My God, the amount this. Good beer, you need expensive ingredients, and we do small batches. We don't get any economies of scale. But yeah, it's a really fun project. So we don't own a brewery. We're what's called a nomadic brewing company. So we brew at our friends' breweries. So we brewed at a whole bunch of places around New Zealand. And yeah, having fun, putting together recipes, putting together the artwork. We kind of do all of it. And a little while ago, we brewed our first IPA, which was this guy, hey? Yeah,
this one, Chupacabra. So the first in the Monster series, brewed with Neo-Mexicanus hops. So brand new hop varietals, well, brand new in the scale of hop varietals, had been discovered growing wild on river beds in Mexico and sort of taken back and cultivated in the US.
Yeah, like in southern North America, so sort of like New Mexico, Texas, Mexico. But yeah, these really interesting varietals that are completely unique.
Yeah, so big kind of coconut, a lot of herbs from those hops like Talus and things like that.
So that was a one-off beer, and yeah, the name was from, Matt's always loved Chupacabra, which is a sort of a mythical beast that's the kind of like a vampire, devil, dog, alien creature. And yeah, then we decided to do a collaboration with Heyday. We ended up with this one, which was inspired by a Japanese deity, the Basa Basa, and that was based on Japanese rice lager with Japanese hops. And then we sort of got into a bit of a roll. So then came Mothman, Pukwudgie, and now we are onto the Hoofman. So this was, Mexican-inspired, Japanese-inspired, American. This was also American monsters. And the Hoofman is a little-known New Zealand cryptid.
I'd never heard of it. I know when we had school camp when I was little, we talked about the crazy chainsaw maniac of the Kaimais. But yeah, Hoofman supposedly hangs around on the desert road, sort of down south of Lake Taupo.
Yeah.
And does he harass people?
I don't know how popular or famous the story of the Hoofman is, how many people have come across him, but I managed to find a couple of articles and blog posts and shit on Reddit of people talking about the myth of a humanoid creature who's a hitchhiker on the desert road, and if you stop to pick him up, you're in for a pretty bad time. He's a sort of a goat-human hybrid that I just went with, and like I was saying before, Small Gods being a different kind of brewery, we pretty much just sell all our beers directly to customers. We definitely don't sell to supermarkets. That's why cans don't have barcodes or anything on them. There actually aren't really many independent beer shops in New Zealand, really, as we often lament about. So that's kind of a cool thing with our labels. People kind of know what the beers are anyway. So they can be pretty minimalist. So when I did the artwork for this one, there actually was a lot more detail in the blacks. It was kind of like oil painting splashes that I came together with. And it printed out a bit duller, but I think it looks freaking awesome. But I couldn't imagine many people buying this in a supermarket. Just a few like smears of like white oil paint on a black canvas. Very cool that we can just do our own stuff really at Small Gods.
Yeah. So this is we're on a real West Coast IPA kick after the arms race.
Yeah.
So this is going for that kind of old school malt profile, as well as trying to mimic those kind of classic US hop flavors with New Zealand hops.
Yeah.
So New Zealand hops usually sort of lumped in with very tropical, very fruity,
huge aromas,
a lot of stone fruit, things
Yep.
like that. So you wouldn't necessarily think they're the best hops for a big sort of slightly sweet malt base and a lot of bitterness. But we went with hops, Motueka, Riwaka, and Southern Cross. So all known as quite citrusy, grapefruity, kind of, lemony as well. There's a nice light citrus to this. But, Southern Cross has a bit of pine. Riwaka has a bit of
Yep.
sort of, people call it kind of diesel-y, but it's that kind of oily, sort of grassy green note. So I think it actually does mimic a bit of a sea hop US West Coast bomb.
Yeah, and that was the idea, that it is, it's a classic West Coast American IPA with New Zealand hops. But yeah, we definitely didn't want it to be, using those amazing local hops that are just so specific and aromatic, like, Nelson Sauvin, for example, or, Nectaron, that have these really particular flavors. But yeah, Motueka is one of my favorite hops. We've done a Pilsner with it previously and a Pale Ale that were absolutely gorgeous. It's really cool to work with Motueka. Just some really high quality hops in pretty large volumes. It's nice to see a bit of a swing with drinkers back towards West Coast IPAs.
Yeah, the haze popularity certainly isn't dying, but
No, always going to be there.
yeah, it is something we've talked about quite a bit. Of, people online beginning to kind of almost hipsterish, like, oh, I hate hazies. Why does everyone love them? But yeah, it is definitely clear IPAs are back on the menu.
Yeah, and me and Matt aren't really interested in brewing a hazy IPA. I mean, never say never, and it is fantastic.
You have said never so many times.
I think that's been with a caveat that we'll never, I'm putting it out there now, that we'd never brew a hazy IPA unless it was going to be one of the best ones that's been made in the country.
Yeah.
And it is incredibly hard to make a great hazy IPA. I've said it before, but most hazy IPAs are average. Every year in New Zealand, like 2 or 3 good ones get released. In my personal opinion, this is just me saying that. So I don't know if I back ourselves currently to do one of the best New England IPAs in the country. West Coast IPAs, on the other hand, absolutely stand by all of these. Work with Matt and his fantastic recipe creation. I seriously think we're nailing it. These are some top tier IPAs.
Yeah, very good.
I hope you're enjoying Hoofman.
Hoofman.
Sorry, a bit of a frantic video. I'm just about to dash out somewhere for an appointment. Hoofman. It was also almost called Goatman.
Goatman.
It was, so people use both names for him, but
Hoofman is better.
I thought the Hoofman is a...
Drink it with pizza.
Yeah.
Come to the Fridge and Flagon next Thursday. We're having a quiz night, the first of Infinity.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be a thing every Thursday.
The weekly quiz night.
Yeah.
And you heard it here first. If our sign makers manage to turn things around quickly enough, the Fridge and Flagon is closing for good. It will be the end of the Fridge and Flagon and the birth of the Small Gods tap room. So we've realised recently there have been a couple of weeks ago, I just looked at our tap list and we had 9 Small Gods beers on, and we're like, actually, we should just lean into, people are enjoying what we do.
Yeah.
In the next week or two, we'll see a bit of an overhaul as it becomes Small Gods tap room. We'll still have everyone's beers in our fridges, and we'll still have always have lots of different breweries on tap. Be a bit more of a focus on Small Gods beers and pizzas and pub quizzes every Thursday. But all the usual stuff, our regular festivals are still going to happen. We'll still do Run Club on a Monday night, etc. So check socials and join us for the first pub quiz and try some of our pizza. Thanks for joining us. Cheers.
Cheers.